Hi guys, Neil here and Chris and Sanjay from Avocado Property, and today we're going to talk to you about what the agent gets out of the sale and your transaction. Bit of a hot topic because obviously us being business owners now, we've got a lot of pride and passion in what we do and getting it across to the finish line. It's not just about the fee, am I right?
Absolutely. I think, I'll give you an example, scenario, a quick story. So vendor was on the market with another agent. That agent in turn had 122 properties for sale in their area, just from that one office branch. The price of the vendor's property was considerably low in comparison to what they have got on at the top end of the market. So in terms of fees for the negotiator, and I remember when I used to work for a high street agent, I used to get paid a percentage of the fee
gets smaller and smaller.
And it gets smaller and smaller, but the value of the property gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So, I mean, naturally, as a negotiator, as a human, someone that works off commission and in sales as an estate agent, a high street estate agent, they're going to be looking at trying to sell the top end properties because that's where their commission's going to be. That's where the money's going to be for them, right?
Yeah. Well, I've openly had, when I was working for a high street agent as well, some of my colleagues, when I was listing a property, they'd openly say they prefer selling my properties because they had a higher fee. So it just shows that they're blinkered to not the client, the individual of the property, the fee and the money. And let's face it, obviously when that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, what are they going to earn out of it actually in the end result?
You're absolutely right, and I think a lot of things that, or certain things that I think a client should consider when they've got Mr. Estate Agent or Mrs. Estate Agent sitting in their living room discussing the fee structures is, well, I wouldn't necessarily directly ask them because they probably won't tell you, but what is that agent going to be earning? And what is their motivator for getting the best result for you? Now, you've got Mr. or Mrs. Estate Agent, you've got Mr. or Mrs. Avocado. We are business owners, as Sanjay's quite rightly pointed out, but the point being, from an estate agent's perspective, as an employed estate agent, you will earn roughly, 5% maybe?
I remember getting paid £20 off one property. It was like
same.
It was like £64,000. This is years ago, and it was like £20, £22 or something.
Yeah.
But the thing is that was probably one of the hardest transactions I had to get through. I had to show so much empathy towards that vendor because they were in it was a real dilemma. But I still did it because something inside me was like, I can't let this go. I can't. This is a human being.
But then when you break it down and you go, right, what am I working for? In those instances?
And the point I'm sort of making in the long way around about saying is that, well, from an employed estate agent against a self-employed estate agent, who is more motivated to see that result happen for their client, for someone who is, from an earnings perspective, which, to a certain degree is the bottom line as to why we all do what we do anyway, apart from loving our jobs, of course, but you've got an agent who might earn, 20 quid, 50 quid, whatever, out of selling the property, because the rest of it's going straight back into the company. Or you've got someone who is a business owner sitting in front of you, where it actually really matters. And it really matters to get that result. Whether it's what we consider a small fee, whether it's a massive, it doesn't matter. The fact is that we're that driven to get the result because actually this affects our company directly.
Well, this in turn, right, this kind of makes sense because this is why they're volume based, right? And this is why I would never really want to have more than 10 properties for sale at any point in time because I wouldn't be able to manage the vendor's expectations and obviously the process to the best of my ability.
We're not numbers and KPIs.
And if you're getting paid as a negotiator and estate agent, if you're getting paid that little chunk, you have to get the volume on in order to get the commission.
Quantity rather than quality.
Exactly.
And sorry to cut across, the knock-on effect of that is, from a typically employed estate agent's perspective, is volume. To make what they need to do to earn their living, they've got to be selling 5, 10, 15 units a month, houses a month, properties a month. And that's high pressure. Therefore, when you're high pressured, you're rushed. You're trying to do things quickly.
Slow it down, do it right.
The service element is dramatically affected, and that's why with our models, where we're not trying to deal with 50 houses at a time, we're dealing. It's the quality of what we're doing, and therefore having the time to dedicate, to get the result that's needed, and just spending as much time as a property is going to need to get that result. So
I'll just finish on one final point, and this is why vendors in particular, estate agents in particular, I remember used to do this because it was volume based, and I would do anything I can to get a buyer through the door. I'll do anything I can to get an offer on the table. I'll do anything I can to get that offer accepted. And then reality is, 50%, 60% of them fall through because they're not we haven't done our due diligence, because it's just like, well, if I don't do this, I'm not going to get paid money.
Slapdash, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Service.
Anyway, guys, this is our rendition of. This is our rendition of our quick story, our quick take on how much does the estate agent actually earn in terms of their fee and why. For myself, Sanjay,
Neil,
Chris.
Cheers, guys. Take care.